Hello everyone. Today I will tell you a story. The story is titled, Lou and the Gaze That Always Finds Me and quote. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you appreciate me. You can skip this if you don and oppose. Like this video. Thank you very much. The story begins as follows. Every morning begins the same way, long before my alarm dares to make a sound. I don't wake up to noise, or light, or even movement. I wake up to a feeling, a quiet pressure of awareness, like someone has been thinking about me very hard. When I slowly open my eyes, there he is. Lou. He sits at the edge of the bed, his paws tucked neatly beneath his chest, his tail wrapped around himself like a careful secret. His eyes are wide, round, and impossibly patient. They are not demanding eyes. They do not say, "Feed me now." They simply say, "You are awake. I am here." Lou's gaze never feels accidental. It's deliberate, gentle, and strangely comforting. Sometimes his whiskers twitch when I move. Sometimes his ears tilt slightly forward, as if he's afraid I might disappear if he looks away for even a second. When I stretch, Lou stretches too, one paw forward, the other following, his back arching in a slow, elegant curve. He blinks at me, slowly, deeply. It's a cat's way of saying I trust you. And in that moment, before the world begins rushing at me with responsibilities and noise, Lou gives me something rare, calm attention. As I get out of bed, he follows me, not walking beside me, not running ahead, just a step or two behind. Always close enough to see me, never close enough to trip me. In the bathroom, he sits outside the door, staring at the space where I vanished. In the kitchen, he jumps onto the chair, positioning himself so he can see my face clearly. I pour his food, and only then does he look away from me, just briefly, as if to say, "Yes, this is important too." But even while eating, he glances up between bites, checking that I'm still there. Lou doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. His eyes do all the talking, and every morning, they tell the same story. You matter. Your presence matters. Days with Lou are made of small, ordinary moments, stitched together by his constant attention. While I work, he chooses a spot nearby. Not always the most comfortable one, but always the one with the best view of me. Sometimes it's the corner of the desk, where he pretends not to notice the keyboard beneath his tail. Sometimes it's the window ledge, where sunlight warms his fur, but his eyes remain fixed on my movements reflected in the glass. And sometimes, when the day feels heavy, he settles on the floor near my feet, curling himself into a loaf of quiet reassurance. Lou watches everything I do as if it's important. When I sigh, he lifts his head. When I laugh, his ears flick toward the sound. When I stop typing and stare into space, he blinks at me slowly, as if reminding me to breathe. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't judge. He simply stays. There are moments when I get up suddenly, and Lou startles, his body tensing for half a second before relaxing again when he realizes it's just me. Other times, he anticipates my movements, standing up before I do, already prepared to follow. In the afternoon, when sunlight spills across the floor, Lou positions himself right where the light touches my legs. His fur glows softly, turning him into a warm, breathing patch of comfort. If I move, he moves. If I stay still, he stays still. Visitors often notice it first. "Why does he keep staring at you?" they ask, half amused, half confused. I never know how to explain it properly. How do you explain that being seen, truly seen, by a small, quiet creature can feel like being understood without words? Lou's gaze is not curious. It's not suspicious. It's not demanding. It's simply present. And in a world where everyone is always looking at something else, phones, screens, clocks, futures, Lou looks at me. At night, when the house grows quiet and the lights dim, Lou becomes even more attentive. He waits until I settle down, until my breathing slows, until the day finally loosens its grip on my shoulders. He jumps onto the bed with practiced softness, placing his paws carefully, as if respecting the space I occupy. Sometimes he curls beside me, his back pressed lightly against my arm. Other times, he chooses the pillow near my head, facing me, his eyes reflecting the faint glow of the room. In the darkness, Lou's gaze feels deeper. It feels like he's guarding something fragile. If I wake up in the middle of the night, disoriented or anxious, Lou is already awake, already watching. His eyes catch mine instantly, and for a moment, everything else fades away. No thoughts of tomorrow. No worries about unfinished tasks. Just a quiet understanding shared in the dark. When I turn over, he adjusts. When I pull the blanket closer, he waits. When sleep finally returns to me, he closes his eyes too, trusting that I am safe, and that he is safe with me. Lou never asks for much. Food, warmth, a gentle hand on his head. But what he gives is far greater. He gives attention without distraction, presence without expectation, love without conditions. And every day, through every small moment, his eyes remind me of something I often forget. Being there is sometimes the most powerful thing you can do. Lou's constant gaze toward me is more than a habit or a cute behavior. It is a quiet lesson about how we live our lives today. In a world full of distractions, where our attention is constantly pulled in 100 different directions, Lou chooses something radical: presence. He reminds me that to truly care for someone, human or animal, is to notice them, to be aware of them, to make space for them in your mind and heart. From Lou, we can learn that connection does not require words or grand gestures. It requires time, patience, and the willingness to be emotionally available. His steady eyes teach us to slow down, to listen without interrupting, and to show love not only through action, but through attention. When we apply this to our lives, we become better companions, not just to our pets, but to our families, friends, and even ourselves. Caring for animals is not just about feeding or sheltering them. It is about building trust through consistency and kindness. In return, animals offer us something deeply human: unconditional acceptance. By learning to observe, respect, and emotionally connect with them, we also learn how to build healthier, more compassionate relationships in our daily lives. Lou's gaze is simple, but its message is profound. Be present, be gentle, and never underestimate the power of quietly being there.